Hey guys, welcome back to Git Good, a series where I analyze my gameplay to see what I did right, what I did wrong, and how I could have played better. Today, we'll be looking at several situations where I should have recognized that it was time for me to disengage from a fight and reposition. I've realized that one of my biggest weaknesses is not understanding when a fight is lost and that I can no longer be on the front line. By nature, I have an aggressive playstyle, so I always want to go in, but I need to learn when it's time to cut my losses and run if I want to be a better player and give myself more opportunities to win. Let's dive right into it. In our first clip, we're about to hunt a squad that landed nearby, but it turns out that they found us first. I rotate to the high ground to force them to fight us from multiple angles and hopefully catch someone off guard. I spot this lifeline out here, and as I'm fighting her, I realize their team is split up. I can hear someone in the corridor below me, and I call for us to collapse on whoever's underneath because we'll have a numbers advantage. I can see a Wraith and a Watson through the window. Watson doesn't have her gun out since she's placing down her fence, so I have a second or so to get free damage on her if I act fast. Timing is unbelievably important in Apex. Capitalize on every advantage that you can. If you're caught off guard, avoid jumping in the air like this. Not only are you easier to hit because you're now falling in a predictable pattern, but you also have to deal with some minor aim punch as your crosshair bounces around when you land. We get a quick knock. I finish her since I can do so from a safe position, and I know they have a lifeline, so I don't want them getting an easy revive. Now it's a 3v2 fight. I throw an arc star to zone them out, and I end up breaking someone's shields. Again, Apex is a game of timing, so I push in immediately to take advantage of someone being stunned with no armor. Now it's a 3v1 and things are looking pretty good, but I need to back up and heal. I've got a few options here. The best one would be to armor swap off the Watson's death box. The second best option would be to back up and use a shield battery. The worst thing to do would be to stay in this area and use shield cells. Put yourself in their shoes for a moment. The Wraith hit a nasty Mastiff shot on me and is likely calling out that I'm low, so the lifeline's going to come charging around the corner. I don't want to be hanging around here without my gun out when that happens. I need to temporarily disengage and get off the front line. Here's where it all goes wrong. My teammates are pushing up and I walk up with them, which is a huge mistake. Just like in a real-time strategy game like StarCraft, you want the units with the lowest amount of health to be in the back so they don't get focused. I should have let my team tank any incoming fire first because there's no way the lifeline can do enough DPS by herself to bring them both down at once. Instead, I stay clumped up and in front of everyone, which makes me the first person to get hit as the lifeline pre-fires around the corner. She gets a quick couple knocks because of my bad positioning, and now our 3v1 has turned into a 1v2 and we end up losing. I blame myself for this loss because I didn't back up when I should have. If I had played better, we would have continued to snowball our advantage and no one would be forced to clutch it up. Here, we're in the middle of a massive brawl and we've wiped a couple teams. The adrenaline is pumping and I just want to go, which makes me miss out on some important clues and leads to a few bad decisions. We're in the top 5 now, so everyone who's heard the noise is coming over to investigate. All teams are full at this point. Our Pathfinder gets collapsed on as I'm moving to regroup. At the same time, I also see someone zipping over. First mistake. I should have turned around and looked at the base of the zipline to see if there was anyone else coming so I don't get shot in the back as I run up the stairs. I quickly peek the body to see if I can grab the banner safely when I spot her horizon. I take a couple pot shots at her just in case she was low and prioritize looting instead of health. As I'm poking, another squad starts shooting from the other side of the room, so I try to find a better angle. I can't see anything where I'm standing, and I'm exposed from several different directions. I end up running face first into an aim duel with an Octane that came out of nowhere. Second mistake. I am so caught up in the fight and a horizon getting knocked that I didn't notice this charge rifle beam being shot at the Octane. If I had seen this, it would have told me that there's yet another squad further ahead and that the direction I'm moving in isn't safe. With the 2 other squads in the building behind me, the one further up, and the mystery squad that zipped over, I could very well be smack dab in the middle of the 4 other teams by myself, which means that I should definitely get out of here.
I downed an enemy.
I quickly armor swap since I know there's people close behind me that knocked our horizon. I peek to get information, and with it comes my third mistake. You don't have to shoot every moving thing you see. Right now, no one is paying attention to me. I could use this opportunity to reposition myself or try to grab some banners. I don't want to tell the rest of the teams where I am by opening fire. Let's think about it for a second. What can I hope to gain by shooting here? The Pathfinder is so far away and is right next to cover, so he can easily break line of sight from me. Even if I somehow get a knock, what happens? My teammates are dead and I have a long way to run, so I won't be able to follow up on the damage I do. He'll probably get picked up, and all I would have done is waste my time padding my stats while other people rotate for better positions. I peek again, and now there's 3 of them. Surely I disengage now, right? All I have to do is get back behind cover, hit my tactical, and get the hell out of there. But nope. I decide to ego this Wraith while standing in full view of everybody and get lasered down. I get the Wraith to about 20 HP, but I get knocked in the process because I forced a fight that I had a low probability of winning instead of backing off and looking for a better opportunity. Sometimes I do win ego fights. They're exciting and fun to watch, but they're also building up bad habits like this. Soon after I get knocked, the squad with the charge rifle chose to fight. If I had retreated early, I might have been able to get myself out of the sandwich and circle outside while the distracted fighting each other. Time for some bronze level play in a bronze level lobby. Things start off well enough as we third party a fight and pick off a squad.
Reloading. Let's go this way. Grenade. Reloading. I'm down.
Our Loba gets knocked and I'm low on health, so it's time to leave. There's not much cover to play around outside and too many windows we can be shot through on the inside. I want to take a step back to recompose and reset. Wraith's tactical is great for safely repositioning mid-fight, which is what I do, so that's good. What's bad is that I left the rest of my team behind. I could have set up my portal while the revive was going off so that they could reposition with me. Even if we get chased through the portal, it's still better for us because 1, we'll know they're coming with the animation and sound cues, and 2, we'll know exactly where they'll end up while they have to look for us as they exit. We could position ourselves behind the portal so they have to 180 to find us as they come out. But I leave, and just as expected, they get collapsed on, which is my fault. Their Bloodhound gets revived as I get back to full health, so I'm facing a 1v3. Now's the time to ask, what's my plan? I see one standing still while looting, so I try to get some free damage in to create an opening for me to take advantage of. I should have used my Hemlock with my 3x sight instead of my R301 with the 1x. Now I should either be pushing up or leaving instead of angle holding the doors. I'm not accomplishing anything by standing here, I'm just giving them time to heal, wasting the advantage I created. Their horizon solo peeks me. I do some damage, back off to reload, then re-peek. Now their lifeline's here. I miss a bunch of shots as I'm preoccupied thinking about where their horizon went. I get scanned so they know exactly where I am, but I'm not sure where everyone on their team is. This should have been my cue to get out because I'm probably getting flanked right now. I've been sitting in one position for too long and they're creating too many angles for me to account for. Not only does it make it so I need to be more mechanically proficient because I have to snap my crosshair across wider angles, I'm also devoting more mental power to tracking where people are off screen, thinking about their possible rotates, and listening for audio cues. If I back up, I can get a better view of the battleground and spot people coming at me without having to check such extreme angles.
Reloading.
There's the horizon to my left. I move up so I can break a line of sight from her, but by doing so, I put myself in Lifeline's field of view. No matter where I go around this piece of cover now, I'm always exposed to someone on their team. I'm going to miss all of my shots again because of the mounting pressure. Since I can't knock the lifeline, this would be my last opportunity to disengage, hit my tactical, and try to be anywhere else but here. Although this was an okay position 30 seconds ago, it's quickly deteriorating into a bad one as I have nowhere safe to go. Look at how split up these guys are right after I died. Now I'm not saying I would have won, but if I had disengaged and kited them further back, to this building for example, it would have put more space between us and given me more opportunities to get free damage as they run across the open and possibly get them to trickle in one by one. Here's an example of someone else disengaging properly and how the last fight might have gone if I had done the same. We just wrapped up a fight when a late third party rolls in. They get a knock, which presents an opening for them to push us aggressively. Let's take a moment to analyze the situation. We know they have at least 2 people. There was someone sniping at me when I went for the revive, and there was the horizon that I missed all of my shots against. There may also be a third, but I don't know where they are. On our end, our Bloodhound is 1 hit and therefore out of commission. I myself am popping a shield battery, which is effectively forcing our Pathfinder to fight alone for the next 5 seconds. Positioning wise, we're in a bad spot. If they get aggressive, I can get pincered very easily if they approach at the same time from both sides of this cover. We'll have nowhere to hide behind if they push up this far. Our Pathfinder realized this way earlier and has already thrown an Arc Star to zone them out while grappling away. Instead of healing, I should have followed suit. Playing as a character that doesn't have additional mobility or escapes means that I have to recognize when I'm in a bad situation sooner so that I have time to get out. I may not have been able to get where our Pathfinder went, but I could have gone anywhere else. Literally moving left, right, or back so that they can't pincer me would be way better than staying where I am. Notice the Wraith pushing up on the right side. If the Horizon didn't get me, the Wraith would have. I got collapsed on because I spent too much time sitting in one place and not enough time disengaging. Let's observe the Pathfinder for a moment and see how much more of a fighting chance he had because he repositioned. He fell back early, which gave him a chance to cross this open terrain uncontested. If they want to push him, they'll need to cross that same open field where he'll get free damage in, or they'll need to take a wide flank, in which case he can just reposition again. Also, by stepping back, he narrows the number of angles that he has to account for, which makes it less likely for him to get overwhelmed. The way he plays this scenario is a pretty good example of what I should have done in the last clip I showed you, and the clip we'll go over next. He eventually gets knocked and we get wiped, which is unfortunate. Still, by disengaging, he gave himself a much higher chance of winning the fight from that position than the one we were in earlier. The setup for this clip is similar to the last one. A late third party rolls in and gets a pick. I didn't expect them to be this close, which is why I didn't react right away. Our Horizon is going on a massive flank, so I put from cover to hold their attention while she gets set up. Apparently I forgot to reload, so I do a little pole dancing to make it harder for the Octane to hit me. Some cover, no matter how small, is better than no cover. As I'm moving up, I eat a shot from a Mastiff right as a Horizon gets knocked. This is a prime time for me to turn around. There's a lot of open space I need to cross if I want to go in, and I don't really want to get any closer to a shotgun than I have to, especially since I'm facing a 1v2 now, and I think our Horizon only damaged one of them. If your teammate goes and gets themselves in a bad position, it's not your job to throw yourself in there with them, no matter how much they ping or yell at you in chat. Having someone bait you into a bad spot is just as much on you for following them into hell as it is on them for leading you there. Unfortunately, I only halfway commit to leaving. In my head, the situation is salvageable. I might be able to go back in and clean up, when in reality, I need to cut my losses and run. There's no way I can stop them from finishing the Horizon this far away, so she's gone. Our Loba just got revived and needs to heal. If I pop a shield battery and re-engage right away, I'll be facing a 1v3 because they would have revived the Octane in the time it takes for me to get a battery off. Not to mention there isn't really any cover for me to heal behind out here. If I re-peek just as is, which I end up doing, I'll just straight up die as I don't have enough health to contest 2 people at once. What I should be doing is trying to get to the roof of this building so that I have some high ground to work with. It'll give me cover as I wait for our Loba to heal up, and I'll be able to poke at them as they run across the open if they come over this bridge. They might also make the mistake of trickling one by one, but that can only happen if I give them an opportunity to do so. The window to get away was small, but it was definitely there, especially since you can see that they didn't try to chase me right away. Again, there's no guarantee that we would have won if I disengaged properly, but I absolutely guarantee that we lose by staying and eagle peeking them when I could have gotten away. Anyway, that about wraps it up for this video. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next time.